I like to consider myself pretty good at redstone. But a lot of things have changed since I got good at redstone. And to say that I have no idea what's going on is an absolute understatement. So I decided to give myself a 30-minute time limit to figure out exactly what's going on in this build and recreate it in my world. Let's get started. All right, so this seems to be the on-off switch. I think I'm doing really good so far. And then, is this a clock? Interesting, okay. Oh, that's a lot of observers here. Okay, so I at least know how to do an etho hopper clock, but this is a much smaller footprint for such a small little loop that's doing here. But it looks like it takes this little loop here. The redstone torch turns it off, so that way it doesn't keep looping. And then the hoppers will send it over, send it into here. We get a comparator out, and we have an observer here noticing that then powers both of these. How is it doing that? Ah, okay, it's got an extra tick delay here before it actually powers the second one. Okay, well, the clock is understood. I think we're doing really good. Why? Okay, it looks like it's doing a bit of a burnout, but I don't entirely understand how burnout clocks work. It looks like this is necessary, so let's go ahead and recreate it to figure out what's happening. So if I'm looking at this correctly, when we turn this on, it will do a slight delay and continue powering itself until it runs out of power. Oh, okay, and then because it is full power here, every block, okay, the redstone here, it's going to go up and over, and it's going to slowly decay. Oh, okay, so that's how the decay part works. Why would you do this instead of just an inverted torch? I feel like this would be so much simpler if you just used an inverted torch. Okay. Oh, yeah, so if I do this correctly, then it should turn this off correctly. And it has the one delay there. I feel like this is going to cause an issue when I do this. I'm probably not explaining this very well, but when you look at this teeny tiny bit of redstone is off for a single tick, it looks like. Oh, okay, so it's doing it on it's doing a single tick instead of this very long extended delay here. Okay, I'm now starting to see why you would turn that off, but why wouldn't you do it like this? The little piston seems to do the same effect. Okay, this might just be getting super large, so that could be enough reason for it. Oh my goodness, this is getting massive. Okay, never mind. This is way more compact than the solution that I'm trying to go with. I imagine what we're going to find is that a lot of what I think we should do is going to be way bigger than it actually needs to be. Interesting. I don't exactly know. If I were going to reuse this, I don't know how I would actually use this very specific delay here. Okay, but I think I have a good enough idea what's going on here. Oh, and now I'm in the middle of things, so why? Why is it doing this? Excuse me? How is this getting powered? What's going on here? What? I thought that was connected over here. What? Excuse me? What? Is this literally counting? Oh my goodness, it's literally counting. I wish you could see my face right now. I am in complete shock. I did not know that this was a thing. I mean, I've made a few counting system things before, but they do not work like this. This is so compact. Okay, why is it doing that? Is there like a very tiny delay between this? Okay, somehow this piston seems to be firing just half a fraction of a tick before this one does. Because otherwise, I don't think it would grab it. Is this directional? Is this like dependent on the direction? All right, let's pull this system down just a bit. So let's test a couple iterations of this. I wonder why detector rails instead of the golden rails. Is this just easier to get? Okay, so even if I leave it on, it's only going to do one tick there. Do I have enough room to build this? Just barely. Okay. All right, so if we turn this on. Okay, but what if I build this on the other side? What? Okay. I thought this would have been an instant change. It's actually, so it actually is taking a very slight delay to get to the end here and change the piston head. What? Who the heck comes up with this? I don't know if I'll ever even actually remember to do something like this. And I'm just going to assume that's more than likely totally fine to go directional, like change the direction on it. Why is this not working now? Oh, it would help if I place it correctly. That's insane. I mean, to anyone who actually knows how to build this, it's probably one of the simplest things. But this feels like such a crazy little bit of redstone detail. Oh my goodness. Observers really break stuff, don't they? Okay, so now we have this crazy little tiny counting contraption. Does this only work for this kind of count? I wonder if you could increase this in some way. I bet if you had some sort of double piston extension or something, you could make an even larger counter. But the fact that this is just a very specific 3-point counter is insane. Okay, what other piece do I need my mind blown by? Water. No, what else is going on over here? I really thought this was heading over here. Why is there a note block here? Why wouldn't you just put this up to the top? Why does it need a note block? Is it a lag thing? Oh, if you see me doing something in here that's really dumb, leave a comment below. I have no idea what's going on. Also, if you're enjoying this kind of content, check out the survival series. I got loads of content where I sometimes do redstone. I'm doing things right now. And please, like the video. Wait, this doesn't need to be ran into a block? I thought this caused issues. I swear this caused issues before. I thought you always had to run this into a block. All right, well, I definitely could have improved a little automated crafting system back home. Oh my goodness. Okay, what is going on here? We've got a little 1 tick here, and then not 1 tick. Okay, it's sending it to both of the pistons. That makes sense. What? So if the goal is just to super delay the change, why wouldn't you just have a couple of these? How badly does this break if I remove this block and just make it go solidly through? Let's change it to a target block. There we go. Wait, how was that? How was that powering that before? I thought if it was a line straight across, it wouldn't get powered. What if I just remove this? Oh. A little 1 tick check there is because it's not off for long enough. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a whole lot of reason for having these everywhere, isn't it? I think I broke something. Hold up. I don't think we're supposed to have cobblestone in this. Yep, cobblestone definitely breaks it. Is this timing specifically for smooth stone? I feel like I definitely broke something. And like something important too. Okay, this makes enough sense here. What's going on here? Okay, it's the same thing that we saw earlier where apparently you can send it directly into the air. Oh, help. You can send the redstone signal into the air above the piston. I did not think that was a thing that worked. I really thought you had to send it into a block. That alone is something that I really should have known. All right. What about this little feature here? Why is this 1 block below instead of directly touching it? Or even, why is there a note block? Why? Oh, there's actually not an observer in here. I feel like I could do something like this. What? Okay, so it has to be powered from below. I'm really not understanding why there is a note block and why it's 1 below. Like, I understand why you'd have this and then the piston, and you gotta clear out what's happening there. But why do it this way? Is it for the bone meal? Oh, it could be for the bone meal. Yeah, okay. I think it might be because we have to refill it with bone meal. Okay, all right. I see a little bit better now. But why the note block? I don't understand the note block. I really don't understand the note block. Okay, now it doesn't seem to be doing anything. Okay, I understand now why we have to count like some 3 or 4. So that way we can move the moss block a little bit further out. Why is this not working now? Does it all have to be facing a certain way? Wait. What? Definitely confused. Wait, what? Okay, why does this not work, but this works just fine? Is it because it's a single tick? Is that what's going on? Why does the observer here work every time, but the lever here does not work? What happens if I remove this? Okay, now it's only doing it in this one specific area. Does the note block really give it a more consistent area coverage? I do not understand why this is covering such a massive area here, and then this isn't covering anything. Is it because of the glass blocks? Okay, let's check and see if the glass block is what's doing it. What? Is it because it's not fully connected? That's super weird. Wait, now it's not. Hold up. It didn't do this little circle. What? I feel like this is super inconsistent. Okay, so even trying to spam it out of 1 tick doesn't seem to do it. Is it because it's of the direction? Is that it? I don't understand. Why is the observer reliably creating this mossy block above it, but when I attach a lever to it, it just doesn't work? And I still don't understand why we have a stinking note block. I think I'm going to completely avoid the note block because I don't understand it, so I'm just not going to use it. Doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's got to be some sort of lag thing, right? Yeah, because without the note block, it works just fine. All right, I really think that I can design this to have the block directly above it, and it might cover slightly more area. And I do think that we'll still want the double here. So if I do this, is it going to elevator it? What? That's not what I meant to do. What? Why isn't it transferring now? Oh my goodness. I need a dropper, not a dispenser. All right, now does it want to work? I'm not expecting it to power this one. I'm expecting it to turn this one on. Okay, it did that. Yeah, okay, as expected. Can't I just run the power directly into this dropper and it'll do it up and down? All right, back to the observer, I guess. This worked literally 5 seconds ago. I don't understand redstone. Huh. Wonder when I broke this. Okay, after way too long, I've decided that I absolutely should not be trying to improve on what was already working. I see no use in the note block, so I'm just going to take it out. I'm sure I'm not going to regret this later. Okay, it looks like the left side is just a complete mirror of the right side. All right, something broke very, very poorly. Uh-oh. This is apparently not me proof. How is it that as just touching this, I'm managing to break it? What am I doing? Okay, I'm starting to think this might just be a full visual issue, because if I go... Yep. It's starting to look like this might be a visual issue, and not exactly that I broke something. Although I'm fairly certain that I could have broken something, so we're just going to continue on as though I didn't do something horribly wrong. Hopefully. Alright, I think with that all understood, most of the issue that I have here, the next thing that I need to do is probably this collection system here. That's a lot of hoppers. Why? Does this overflow at some point? Okay, I'm going to assume that this is most likely an overflow possibility here, and not that I just don't understand why there's barrels here. Because if you could get by with just one set of hoppers, I don't know why you would double up here. So I think we're just going to assume that this has to be this way. Because even though I can't really see the exact overflow happening, I can see the second half starting to fill up as this side is starting to fill up. So I have a feeling it's an overflow issue. And then they all converge into this one dropper vader. Ooh, okay. What? How are you doing this? I don't even see the power heading to this. Is that it? Oh, that's probably it. I could see it being relatively important to have this little clock here, but I also think that I will just simply have a clock here and not bother with the piston. The clock here prevents it from running infinitely when you have it turned off, so maybe I do it anyways. There's only one little redstone clock here to kind of keep it going and prevent it from running while this whole system's off, so I think I will actually have to do it. I don't know why I feel like I have to cut all of these systems out, but for some reason I feel like there's something that I can cut out here, and then everything starts breaking. So maybe I stop trying to do that. Ooh, this is something that we almost missed. This little clock here runs up and over to this little system here. The little water gate system. That's pretty important. Okay, that definitely took me longer than 30 minutes, but I think I understand enough of this that we can actually rebuild it in our world without too many things breaking. Well, this is an interesting little glitch. All right, first things first, I'm going to need to clear out exactly this area, and for that, I'm going to need the only beacon that I've picked up for this season so far. And instead of moving this massive gold pyramid, I'm actually just going to grab all the stacks of gold that I need for my gold farm. All right, for this, we're likely going to need at least all of the redstone components listed here. So go ahead and grab those if you're following along at this point. We're probably going to skip a couple of the white concrete, stone, just whatever might be loaded in here that isn't exactly what we need for the redstone components. We will likely be skipping. And the reason we'll be skipping those is because we'll be replacing a lot of the white concrete with wool, just to help break up the redstone circuit. Best way to keep this organized is to have a couple of shulker boxes. Here we go. And of course, my new data pack that lets you actually control flight in survival is going to help us out so much here. Yep, this is going to take long enough that I actually want to get that beacon set up. I really managed to pick the literal tallest point on this mountain to have to dig all the way through. My luck is quite impeccable. All right, back down. There we are. And I have nothing to offer it. Yep, name something more satisfying in Minecraft than instant mining. Go ahead, leave something in the comments. Oh, shoot. Oh, I'm actually going to need so much more redstone. Well, this is useless. There we go. That's the real value. There's no redstone in these mines. Okay, finally. This has to be the least lucky mine that I've ever had. Ooh, here we go. Huh. Alright, after way too long, I finally have a decent stack of redstone. And like a couple of extra diamonds or something, but that's alright. More than a stack of redstone looks a lot less impressive once it's been laid out. Let's see if it actually turns into a couple stacks of redstone. Leave your comments down below. What are your bets? How many stacks do you think this will give me? Whoa, that's a lot of stacks. Okay. Nearly 6.5 stacks. Not too bad. We'll see how quickly that runs out. Just trying to build this. After many hours of extra grinding, I think we have enough resources to actually make this machine. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something. I spent so many hours on this stupid farm. It's not stupid. It's actually very, very good. I'm just frustrated. I have spent so many hours on this farm trying to work out why some things are not quite working. You'll notice there's a lot different about this farm as opposed to the one that I started with. Let me say this much. I'm very glad that I loaded this up in that redstone world and learned how it worked, because I don't think that I ever could have actually figured this out without actually breaking every piece down. So yeah, I had to load this world into a separate creative world just so that way I could actually get down and fix this issue, or at least test it a bit. So the biggest change you're going to notice is that I moved the little grass spawner thing up top. Now, the big thing that Il Mango did is he moved it all down here so that way it could be a little bit more compact. I, for some reason though, cannot seem to get it working down below. There's something wrong with the right side. It doesn't seem to want to ever work, and is very specific to where it is in the world. I don't know if my computer is like a tick or two faster or slower than anybody else's computer. My world, for some reason, has weird issues where it kind of doesn't really want to spawn any of the grass when it works correctly. I know I've been saying grass, I mean moss when I say that. Okay, so let's go through the changes that I ended up making for this. Like I said, I moved everything up top so that way it's a lot more reliable. I don't know what it is, but if your world's lagging and you try to rebuild this and it doesn't work, I guess this is way more lag friendly to have it all above. And I got rid of the note block and target blocks to just do the little observer smash that I was working on before. And instead of having all of the wiring out front to run up here, I actually made this non-tileable, so you can't tile this on forever. But honestly, the bone meal is so fast, I don't think that's even really that big of a deal. If you were to scale this up to server size, that would be a different question. So, and then I took the on-off switch, tore it down, rebuilt it in a way that pushes it in a straight line underneath this area because there's a lot of empty area under here. Now we have our decay clock a little bit different here. It does kind of change the timing a little bit, but after doing a couple of tweaks with some of the repeaters, it seems to be working just fine. And then, yes, I moved a couple of components. Most of the components ended up moving to the back because I didn't want them all cluttering up the front. We have our little counter here in the back. We have our little extension over here in the back now. And the extra decay clock for the trap doors got moved up top in the back over here. So if I were going to change this, I would move all of these to actually connect in the front area so that way you could make it tileable. But for now, this works amazingly now. And I will also say, I ran into an issue where for some reason I kept generating cobblestone. I don't know exactly what it is. Again, some form of weird lag where the water wouldn't fill out the entire back area. You'll see back there, the water is a little bit mistimed. Turns out we have just the right configuration here to take away one source block of lava here. So that way we can put source water blocks here to give us a better chance of filling out the water before the lava drips down. Because if you don't know, the way they make smooth stone versus cobblestone is smooth stone is water underneath lava, and cobblestone is lava to the side of water. And cobblestone does not convert to moss, so that was breaking this quite quickly. We ran into a lot of issues very, very quickly. I wish I would have recorded more of it, but honestly, I'm just happy to have this actually functional now, and I am ready to move this to survival. Oh my goodness. Doing this all in creative mode saved me a lot of time. But I still spent several hours just figuring out what was going on here. So if you're still watching here and you haven't, please drop a like on the video. It helps me out a lot. It makes me feel a lot better about wasting all of this time. And of course, if you want to see the results of this experiment in the survival series, make sure you check out the channel. I've got the playlist popping up right about now. Anyways, this video was supposed to be out last week, so I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope to see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. I'd love to give a shout out to all of our members. I'm Afrailian, Cosmic Joker, Pasta Luke, Eric Tandler, Lady 9F1. Thank you everyone for joining the channel. Your support is immensely appreciated and helps me come that much closer to becoming a full-time YouTuber. So thank you.